Welcome to episode 17 of Should We Have Watched That?
I'm Saraya.
And I'm Amanda.
Thanks for joining us. We're back.
We're back.
With a magic illusion show called Alone, the Sacred Riana Live. Where's this from, Amanda?
It's... No! It's from Indonesia.
Woo!
Which is where I was born and raised, which was so nice to see. And go them for fringing.
Yeah.
And travelling and doing...
And getting on, like, Britain's Got
thing.
Talent. Asia's Got Talent. Went to Britain's Got Talent. All Stars, I think it was. Also went on to... Oh, no, sorry. America's Got Talent, All Stars. Britain's Got Talent, The Champions.
Wow.
So, like, it's just been part of a lot of... Like obviously getting a lot of media, which is really cool for an Indonesian girl or person.
Which is so exciting because I just remember growing up and like a lot of our media stuff was never that great. So this is like
exciting.
This is huge. And I didn't know this until the night when we went to go see it either. And then I was so giddy when I found out because I was like, go off.
Yeah. What did you say when we got in? So we sat in the second row before the show started. What did you say?
What did I say? Oh no.
You were like, there's a lot of Indonesians here.
Oh yes. So for those of you who don't know, I also speak Indonesian fluently. And there were a lot of Indonesians in there and I was like, it feels like I'm home.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of Indonesians there, which is like nationalism.
Woo-woo.
Like go. I can't believe I didn't know this. Like, I wonder if there are other like Indonesian shows, to be honest. But yeah, what a turnout for us.
Yeah.
I guess cheaper flights, hey, from like Indonesia to Perth than it is Perth to the East Coast.
So true.
I get it. So this is presented by Magic Nation. It's a $36 ticket and it goes for an hour.
This was also at Fantasia. We did a double feature with the Matt Hale hypnotist show that we talked about in the last episode. This was in the same area of the Perth Town Hall, in the big hall upstairs.
Same venue.
And this, I think there were 2 rows on either side that weren't filled. So for a magic show, that's quite a full... I mean, it was a full house anyway. Like, it wasn't actually full. But, like, to only be 2 rows lacking.
And it's quite a large venue.
Yeah, it's a long aisle. And so I'm glad that we got there early so we could get quite close seats.
Which we did. I think we were like 2, 3 from
I think
the front.
we were the second one.
From the front.
Because we had just the family in front of us with the boy that went up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to mention something that I almost mentioned for the Matt Hale show that we watched.
Oh, yes.
But it's actually for this one. I'm not sure if perhaps the person doing the acknowledgement of country wasn't from Western Australia or hadn't done it before, but just when they did it, I was like, there's something weird about that acknowledgement. Like, what is it? I'm so used to hearing Nunga Buja.
Oh.
But they said the Noongar the people of the Noongar Nation of Western Australia, and I don't know why, but I hated it because it felt like they did an acknowledgement, but they immediately went to colonization. Like, it was a weird...
Right. I didn't pick up on that.
I like immediately was like, what? Yeah. What is that acknowledgement? It was strange. I didn't like that.
Because that was just over the voiceover, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was even... Like, it could have been recorded, perhaps. Or it could have been the sound boys up the back, but I hated it. And they didn't have that for the one beforehand. It was a different person saying it. It was a different acknowledgement. Yeah. And... Like, the first acknowledgement was what I'm used to hearing. It might just be that it was a different phrasing and that just, like... Yeah. But I didn't like it. Yeah. Which has nothing to do with the show. It's to do with the acknowledgement. Yeah. Whoever did the acknowledgement, it wasn't Riana.
No. But, different voice.
Yeah, it was male voice. But yeah, I didn't like that. It put me on edge. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite an edgy... Also, it puts you on... The show itself also puts you on edge.
It's a very creepy atmosphere to enter. Like, we just come through big 2 door... Like, both doors open to get into the same room with pop 80s playing. And then this time, they'd, like, got creepy a curtain music. And they'd only opened 1 door, so you had to, like, sneak in.
A creepy doll on a little rocking chair. Just moved. Like, that was... Listen, I am not a horror person. I'm I repeat that. I'm not a horror person. Particularly children and particularly dolls really do something for me that I don't like. And this had both of them.
I mean, I would like to say that Riana is, like, in her 30s.
Yeah.
But she was dressed up as a schoolgirl, and she looked the part.
She was. I think the doll, as the introduction to the whole show, moved its head. And I was like, sick.
Love it.
Love this so much for me.
Where are the exits?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have been on
the
the
flight
side.
paths away.
Taking another flight already.
So that was good fun. But overall thoughts, I thought her magic was phenomenal.
After seeing, so we saw another magic show earlier in the season, and that was really disappointing, and the interaction with the audience wasn't there. And for her having such a bigger venue, so many more people to, which I don't think what we'd previously seen, it was anything to do with the audience necessarily, but her engagement with the audience was great. And she was constantly looking around at everybody, pointing people out of the audience and stuff. Yeah. And I just thought, after the disappointment of the previous magic show, this one was what I was hoping for.
I thought her magic was great. Like, I thought it was very nuanced. I don't know how she would have done. I was baffled. And that's how I want to feel when I see magic.
Yeah? You don't want to be like, oh, I'm trying to work it out, but I can, and I did. I saw it, which is what kind of happened last time. Whereas
I'm no magician, but I think I saw what happened.
But not for this one. This one you didn't see, which was very cool. It was a weird, the previous kind of magic things that I've seen, it's very much like there's a magic trick, there's applause. There's like a bit of riffing. Like the comedian, the magicians usually mix it with comedy.
Yes.
To keep it light and fluffy, and that also keeps the applause going. This one, because it was a creepy nature, we didn't clap very often.
No, and there was a very strong storytelling element to it, / theatrical element to it, which is very different, like you said, to what we imagine magic would be. Yeah. Being that there is kind of comedy involved and like audience banter and stuff like that. But when audience tried to banter, she was very stoic and, she kept in character.
She did. When the audience members trying to banter, they just didn't seem to understand, one of them...
Oh my God.
There were two incidences in particular I'm thinking of. One of them was invited up onto stage, was sat down and told to draw something. And Riana put something over her head and then faced the audience so she couldn't see and said, "Tell me when you're done." And the woman had finished drawing and was just staring at her in like a mix of fear and awe. And then she was like, "Are you done?" Then said again, "Are you done?" And then she turned all the way around and said, "Have you finished?" Like, again, all in character. And the woman was like, "Oh, yeah, sorry." Like, she was just transfixed by her. The other girl...
I think that was the point that I turned around at you after she'd asked her 3 times. I literally turned around to Sass and I was like, "Is she high?"
Yeah, you did.
What's going on? Like, is she okay?
Why isn't she responding? Like, should we call out saying yes? Because I feel like usually in a magic show, if someone hadn't said anything, the audience would participate and we'd be like, "Yes, she's done." But it didn't invite that. It was much more manicured, I suppose. Yeah. The other one was right at the end of the show. There was a girl who'd been in front of us in the line, actually, as we were lining up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and
Hannah.
She was told to just think of, so there was a voice that was supposed to speak to her in her mind and just say any location. And she rang a bell and then all she had to do was say any location. Yeah. Now this is just a very simple word association thing. All she had to say was a location. It doesn't matter if it wasn't heard by a voice. Your head will give you a location as soon as... Amanda, think of a location.
Perth.
Hey, whoa, amazing. And this girl was like, "Oh, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear it."
I felt like that was a boring answer.
It was such a boring answer. And Riana must not have heard her. And so she just walked over to her chalkboard, very stoic, very creepy. And it was like,
spell it out for me.
Yeah. And Hannah was like, no, I didn't hear it. So it was like, it's almost like she was trying to put her off.
Yeah.
Which I didn't appreciate.
Yeah.
Like, you're there for a show, just participate.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And then she did come up with Closet, which is like, good.
Yeah.
But, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
I was frustrated by that. Like,
we've had a few of those run-ins with magic shows.
But, like, with our two magic shows. I mean, Riana was good, though.
No, she was. The only thing that I didn't love was her rhythm of speaking.
Yeah.
But also, I think, look, I understand if she has to cater to a different country every time if she's traveling with it.
Yeah.
And she's trying to learn the language, and I understand. I also speak Bahasa, and I get that it's like I can look past that because it wasn't technically about her vocab, it wasn't technically about her speech. It was, we were there for the magic.
Yeah.
And her language was fine. I think the issue that I didn't love was just the rhythm of it, because it kept being like ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba.
And when there was a bit of storytelling to it, so it did kind of, as you say, go into the theatrical.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, because like we would bring that up with a regular theatre show if we were to see something that was theatre.
Yeah. Which this kind of delves under the umbrella, but at its core it was a magic show.
Yeah.
So I'm okay to look past that, because I thought her magic show was great.
I do wonder if her Asia's Got Talent was in Bahasa.
Yeah, I do want, because I imagine if she's performed this in Indonesian, she'd do it in Indonesian, but like Bahasa. Yeah. So I wonder what that would, like, I wonder if I'd have a different experience watching her
do it that way.
Yeah. And we did think, remember, because there were a few like satanic kind of chants and stuff like that, where Sass looked at me and she was like, is that in Bahasa? And I was like, no.
Which would have been cool.
I know.
But then most of the audience was Indonesian, so they would have, like, a lot of
true. That would have been so cool, though. And like, nice little nod. So character development. I feel like we don't need to go into this too deeply.
No.
We just kind of saw the story of the progression.
Because she was more of like a conduit for another character development.
Yeah, so I felt like she was there for us. Like, I don't think she had a story in herself, particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've spoken about dialogue and my only gripe with the show, but I can look past that. Mm-hmm. The set, okay, so...
There's a lot going on stage.
I did quite enjoy it, what was going on stage. I thought the venue wasn't as appropriate for the show as it was for Hypnotist.
Yes. They did try to make it more applicable, or like a pliable, like a more fit the space better, because they did have a screen behind and a live camera showing you the up close parts of the magic behind her, which was helpful. But even then, there were some moments where like we didn't understand what we were supposed to be seeing.
Yeah, we missed out on a pretty big moment.
Right at the end, like there was a photograph and we couldn't see what the photograph was, just because of the shaky nature of like the person holding the photograph, and then also the shaky nature of a handheld camera. So it was just like I'm glad we were at the front.
Yeah. I like the concept of that, because it kind of gives paranormal activity as well. Yeah. Like, feeding paranormal activity into this performance. But I just think that, honestly, I think there was a lot going on. We had the photographer there as well, and I was like, this is, like, it was a very busy show in terms of props. And then we had photographers running around, taking like, photos.
Hey, do you want a photo before the show? And then also taking photos of during the show. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously we also had this camera person doing the close-ups, giving this paranormal activity vibe. And then we had a helper, like an assistant, as well.
In a mask?
Yeah. Which was fine. I just think that it was...
There's a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if the photographer is only there for that night. I don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Because I think if he wasn't there, then it would make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I wish that moment that we missed out with the photo, I wish that the cameraman had held that for longer so we could actually see what went on. Because that was the reveal. Yeah. And we didn't get to witness the reveal, unfortunately.
Because there were two major reveals at the end. And, one of them I know is both of our favourite moments. Yeah. Which was a prediction reveal. Yeah. But the other one, we have no idea what it was supposed to be. Yeah. Who knows?
No, not me. Not us.
Not us.
Maybe if you go see it, you can tell us. I think I know what it should have been, like the mother, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I want to talk about... So I also participated in this one.
Twice. I do think one of the times that she was pointing at me, but I was like, oh, I'm not sure because you are kind of scary. If I'm the wrong person, I don't want to be told to sit down.
Yeah, and
but you got up anyway.
I got up because the lady next to me was like, I think it's at you. And I was looking around and I was like, oh, hey? And then she was like, no, I think it's you. And I was like, I just got up. Like, surely it's not. And then I was like, and it was like a solid half a minute that went by because none of us knew who she was pointing at.
Yeah, because I feel like maybe it's because we could only see half of her eyes. So it's like, which one, like, because her one eye is covered by a fringe in like a schoolgirl bang kind of thing.
Yeah.
And having that extra eye on whoever it was would have been helpful.
So I got up again. That was fun to participate in.
Something that you mentioned after the show, I'm going to bring it up even though you mentioned it, but I agree with it.
Oh yeah.
Was that she asked for you to write down a person on a piece of paper that is still alive.
Yeah.
And you wrote down my name.
Yeah.
And we were both hoping that she would spell the names out.
Yes, that's so true, and that's why I chose your name.
Yeah, because I when you were told to write a living person, I was like, oh, you're gonna write your dad, straight away. I was like, yeah, John, chuck Papa Dub down on the paper. But then because it was my name, I was like, oh, I know what you were doing. But that wasn't what the trick was.
No.
And I really wish it was.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I was expecting, and it was just...
Although she did get somebody else's name, but it was a bit more common than yours. Okay, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, I felt a little bit uncomfortable in one moment.
Ditto. Same moment.
Same moment that I was asked to write down a name. So 3 audience participants got asked to write down a name of a living person, and then somebody else got asked to write down a name of a person who has passed away.
Recently passed. And in fact, he was chosen, she wrote his name.
Yeah.
And said, who is I think it was Dane, you're right, for our night. And there was only one Dane that stood up.
Yeah, there was only one Dane. And he wrote down his person, as did the other 3 of us. And then she handed the 3 of the living people's persons back to us. And so the trick was that she was giving us our paper back of the person.
After they'd been shuffled.
Yeah, after they'd been shuffled, blah, blah, blah. And then Dane got asked to join her up on stage. And essentially her trick was that she was gonna guess/predict the name that he had written down. And she did, obviously. But then she asked him who this was to him. And he said that...
He said nephew.
Yeah, nephew.
Then he misunderstood. He didn't hear the question, I don't think, the next bit. I think he was ready to share this next bit.
Yeah.
But it's not the question that was asked.
Yeah.
Because I think what she asked was, is there a memorable moment you had with him?
Right.
That's what I heard.
Oh.
And then he said something else.
Oh, I was literally on the verge of tears.
It was intense. He was uncomfortable and sad.
So essentially, he admitted to everyone in a very public domain, that he lost his nephew to murder. And I think there was a heaviness in that room when he said that. And I think there was an audible awe as well.
Like a little gasp, a little sound of disbelief. That, not nothing to do with the joke. Nothing to do with the trick.
No.
Or completely to do with this man's loss.
Yeah.
Which I don't think was expected for this show.
No.
And would have been solely an experience from our show that it won't be repeated.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that was heavy. And even him walking off, I think, and I felt bad because I was I don't want to, I know how much how shit it is to know that people pity you. And I think he was so viscerally uncomfortable coming back down, because then people were kind of like looking at him and stuff like that, and I was like, oh my god, like
and he was doing that uncomfortable smile that like that you put on like as in like a brave face kind of thing, but it's like you lost your nephew, like it was perhaps not the best person to choose, which like there's no way for her to know that, but like also you are talking about someone who's recently lost someone, so it's always going to be a sore topic. So I wonder if that is that trick is perhaps in a bit of poor taste.
Or I think maybe needing to reframe the question. Or something like that, so that it's not something that feels like has to be, because I think there was one moment where she said louder as well to him.
Oh, it was about his the name of the nephew. Oh wait, no, hang on, maybe it was
because that's what made me even more uncomfortable.
But I don't think she heard him.
No,
because again, like English is not his first language, and so he had to repeat that his nephew had been murdered. Which is a hard thing to yell on stage. Well, not yell, but like to say loudly.
To admit, firstly, let alone again. I
do really think that she did ask for a memorable moment. Which, if that is his memorable moment, I find that's really sad that that's what he thinks of when he thinks of his nephew now. Instead of like a beautiful moment they had like playing or something. I don't know how old the nephew was, but like if he took him for a drive when he was on his L plates, that kind of thing. Anyway, there was a big heaviness in the room. Which was already there just from the kind of the state of the show.
Of the show, gosh. So that was that was like the only bit that I felt quite
uncomfortable in.
Mainly. That was heavy. But so it feels so weird, like trying to move on from that. But yes.
We had a favourite moment. I'll steamboat ahead. We had a favourite moment, which is at the end. 3 people are involved in a participatory event with a Ouija board, and they supply words that she writes on a chalkboard, to which there is a prediction trick from a locked box that she's not gone near the entire entire show. I don't think anyone went near it. So I have no idea how she accomplished it.
Me neither.
But it was good. It was a good way to end the show. However, so like that was our favourite moment, a prediction trick. We don't want to go into too much because we do want you to see it because it was a good show. We didn't know when the show had ended. She went into her little pose at the end. Like she went into the centre of the stage. The curtains came down, and we still hadn't started clapping.
And the funny thing is, we also spoke about the fact that we didn't. There wasn't there weren't many claps in this show, full stop. Let alone understanding that she had retreated to the back of the stage, and therefore that meant that the show was over. Was confusing.
And it wasn't. Even when we did clap, it wasn't a raucous clap because it was like, is she coming back? Like we don't know. It was kind of uncertain. But it was also because we were uncomfortable, right? Like that, as in like. Throughout the show, like we weren't in that raucous mood that you usually have with a comedy magician,
which I assume is what they'd like you to sit in. To be honest. So
like it's I don't think they expected us to be like this raucous kind of massive applaud, but it was just a weird end.
I think once the curtains fully came down, we were like, and then we gave it like 5 seconds. Then we were like, okay, this show's over.
No one moved in the whole space. Confused. Like usually people start getting up almost immediately when the curtains come down or when the performer leaves the space. Everyone stayed put.
I do want to say that the show did not feel an hour long to me. Like it felt very quick.
I actually like it. Honestly, I wonder if it was a full hour because we went in late.
So I was just going to bring that up. We didn't love the fact that we were very late to it.
Like, we weren't. We were in the line.
Oh, yeah, we were in the line.
We were in the line early. I thought it started at 11:30. No, sorry, not 11:30. 10:30?
10 something.
But it was 10:45. or 10:50 even that it was.
10:30.
Hang on, but what does it say on Fringe World?
As in, that's when we were supposed to be in by.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But we didn't start till like at least 15, 20 minutes later.
I want to say that it was almost like it, because it felt like we were in there for a long, like in that line for a really, really long time. And they even said that like they are running behind. So I kind of wonder if it was a full hour.
I don't think it was. Definitely didn't feel like it. I don't know.
No. Like, it was good magic. It was. Good magic. But,
like... Did we mention it's also $36?
Oh, which we think is a really good price for it. And especially, like, there were so many people there. Mm. And to be able to, like, fill out that many seats in that venue, like, that's really... Like, it's really cool.
Yeah. I would recommend trying to get a front seat, though.
Yes, you only really get involved in the magic if you are in, I would say, the first 4 rows.
Yeah. Sometimes twice.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
But yeah, favourite moment we've already touched on. 3 words.
3 words. Spooky.
Spooky dooky.
Uncomfortable.
Yes.
And
that's a good one. Oh, let's say that too.
So you can say uncomfortable too, that's alright. Spooky, uncomfortable. I wouldn't say I was like blown away by it magic, but like it was watchable. Like, I couldn't take my attention away, so like, I'm going to say watchable.
It's funny because I don't think she had the showmanship that a typical magician had, because it was very
it was
theatrical.
Just like, look at what happened.
Yes.
Oh, wow,
so
how did that happen?
maybe that's why it felt like it wasn't played as high of a reveal as it normally would have in a magic show. Yeah. But I thought her magic was still really impressive.
It was good. Like, I have no idea how she did most all of the stuff. What were your 3 words?
I want to say... uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Great one.
Baffling.
Yeah. Good one.
And proud. Because my Indonesian girlies.
Indonesia represent.
Yeah.
We.
So proud. So proud. I wish that I knew sooner. I had no idea.
Yeah. You'd been more hyped for it. More days
Until I got in there and I was like, I'm home. Who do I speak to in Indonesian? Hello. Yeah. Did you have your last one? Did you say your last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Do I remember what it was? No. Oh, no, watchable. Watchable was my last one. Yeah.
Yes. So that wraps today's episode.
Yeah.
What are we seeing next?
We're seeing a comedy show called Shaun of Shotgun. This is an Aussie bloke that he's been on. He's on pretty much every night until the end of Fringe, and I just think he looks like a bit of a laugh. So we're gonna go.
Yeah. So we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Thanks for listening.
I've been Saraya.
And I'm Amanda.
Bye.
Bye.